Hello, I'm Lynette Janae, and I am the plant science and animal science teacher this year at Swim High School, and thank you for joining me. I would like to take you on a journey today into this virtual space. I'm going to introduce you to this virtual classroom where your students are learning all kinds of amazing things. So as we got ready to begin this school year, the challenge was upon us. How do I deliver a hands-on science class in a virtual setting for students all by themselves that's been designed for groups of 2 to 4 students? So what you're going to experience today is what I have worked together and put together for your student. And this would not be possible without my personal videographer, Tim, who's my husband, who videos and edits all of these videos for our students to see. This is the CASE program. It's a curriculum for agricultural science education. You can learn more about it at caseforlearning.org as to what your students are learning in plant science and animal science. I want to share with you some components of the class. So our class runs on Canvas. So all the information is placed on Canvas. I've also provided an individual binder with everything the students need. They have now picked up a total of 2 additional packets to take them through the rest of the first semester. The binder allows students to be able to have a screen break. It also allows students to be able to take a picture. So the other components of class that the students will be accomplishing that is not on Canvas, we have our AET, which is the Agricultural Experience Tracker. This is an agricultural class. Your student is completing 40 hours over the course of the school year of an outside the class agricultural project. It's hands-on. They're working in either with an animal or plants or both, and they are learning and they're bringing those skills and recording them in their journal entries in the AET. And within the AET, we are also tracking all the skills that your student is gaining by doing the different classroom activities. And this is building them a resume that they'll be able to print off at the end of the year. The third component that we have is within our class models, and it's called the PMG, which stands for the Producer's Management Guide. So plant scientists are studying a single plant for the entire year, where they're going to learn all the specifics on how to manage that plant in a grower's setting. And then we have our animal scientists who are going to be studying one breed of animal for the entire year. So they know everything to be known about the raising and caring and breeding of the animal. All of this information can be found in the syllabus that is in your student's notebook. So we take all the components of the class and we put them together, and what do we have? We have a virtual classroom that has a number of different experiences for the student. So what I'd like to share now is what's available in Canvas, the actual lessons. Within Canvas, we have different lessons which make up a module. Within each module are the assignments that are within those lessons. And each one has the document that the student can download digitally. Then there is an immersive reader. The student can actually click on the immersive reader link and it will pull up the document. And if they click and use the immersive reader, it will read the document to the student, which can help reduce screen time because they can listen to it. Then there is a video instruction for how to complete the assignment. What I've done in those video instructions is to explain the purpose, the goals, and the things that they need to get done without reading every single step of the directions. So the students get to take some responsibility for their learning and actually read the document and then carry out the activity that's being done. If the activity is a lab, we have videoed that lab from multiple angles And the student will watch very short video clips and follow along with the lab and fill in the lab data. I want to talk just a little bit more about those videos in Canvas. Have closed captions on them, so your student, if they need that, they can have that. And also, I get to just deliver the content uninterrupted. And so via video, students can speed my voice up, they can watch it faster, they can slow it down, they can pause the video, they can rewind, they can hear it again. So it allows a lot of flexibility for student learning, for them to be able to truly engage. Now, the whole downside of this virtual classroom is that I don't get to see your student face to face. And when we do have our synchronous meetings, most students do not show their face. And so I spend the afternoons, 8 hours a week, teaching to pastel circles, which represent your students. So I'm looking forward to being back in the classroom where I can put a face with the name for the students that I have not yet met in person. I would just like to take a minute to talk about grading. Now, because we have this virtual world this year, and I have students that have different internet connectivity, or students that don't have access that are just coming on to campus almost all the way into the quarter, I decided to make this a flexible course, make it as flexible as possible. So what I did is I set the course up to start at the beginning and work sequentially through the course. So that means that your student will start at the beginning and complete each assignment in order throughout the module before they can move to the next module. And this helps them focus in on just the one thing or two things that they need to complete next. And so I have no late work policy. This is students working sort of at their own pace, but they do have to make the mark by semester. So the students have a great amount of flexibility in what score they get. Students can resubmit assignments they performed poorly on, or missed information, or misunderstood. They get to resubmit it for up to full credit. Now, the reason why things are showing up as late is because I have to put it on the Canvas calendar by assigning a due date. So there are due dates, but it just says late. It comes into my grading system. No points get withdrawn for that. It's just a timing marker for students to know where we are actually at. Now, when we cover stuff in our synchronous meetings, they can use the papers in their binder to do any of the presentations that I might do, so that when they get to that assignment to turn it in, they can. So I've done my very best to make this a flexible, somewhat work at your own pace, but 30 minutes a day is what is scheduled. And they have the ability, if they want to get a D in the class, they can complete 60% of the work, and when semester comes, they can choose that that's their grade. If they still want an A, they can keep resubmitting their work with the exception of tests and get full credit up to every assignment and be able to get an A in my course, even if they didn't have an A at the first quarter. So I'd just like to say that as I have been working within creating this virtual learning space so far this year, I have talked to students, I've asked for feedback, and this is the feedback that I've been receiving, is that students really appreciate not seeing every single assignment that they need to do, but just having a focus of one. I have students giving me very positive feedback on having paper so that they can actually write on paper rather than being on a keyboard and typing. I'm getting great feedback on the video instructions. I've had students tell me that that's super helpful for the video instruction. But if you sign up as an observer on Canvas for your student, then you can also see what your student is seeing. And I have a very special treat for you. My videographer has put together a bunch of selected clips so that you can get a very small glimpse into the virtual space. And so I hope that you have enjoyed this journey into my virtual classroom. My credentials and credits will all be at the end of this video in case you'd like to know. Thank you again for joining me. Okay, are you ready? We are going to start with our first hands-on lab that is dealing with some really cool things. I'm so excited to introduce this lab to you. We're going to be working with pill bugs today. He jumps out at you and goes, ah! And you go, whoa! Don't do that! I want to introduce them to you. I have the touch, where we'll do thigmotaxis. I have chemotaxis using basic or acidic. And then we also have the moist versus dry. And we have warm versus cool, that's thermotaxis. And then we'll have phototaxis. Will the pill bugs prefer the dark or the light side? And then your eyes are going to be ready to watch how they behave over an accelerated 10 minutes. Are you ready to take this amazing journey into the invisible world? All right, I'm in clear focus. Now I'm going to move the objective from 40 times to 100 times. And now I'm using my fine adjustment to bring the potato cells into focus. I am now able just to see some of the cell walls of the potato cells. Wow. On high power right here, I can see maybe only 3 potato cells. How was that potato? Did you think that was amazing? The next one, so we're going from 40 to 100 times magnification. And now you're going to use your fine focus to clearly focus as much of the onion skin cells as you can. And to begin our hunt. Are you up for an adventure? It's time to go on a leaf hunt. All right. Have you found the place that you are going to land to hunt for your leaves? So here we go. You can just hang out and see what I end up with. Welcome to my animal classroom. Round 3! The final round is upon us. That's beyond the 1 to 5. We're just gonna totally risk it all right now, every single one of them. So here we go, let's find out how we fare. Winning. Game over. What did your data tell you? And so I am going to remove the tip of that, 1 inch of the tip of that. And make sure that you're looking at the very, very tip. So I'm going to try to bring this into some good focus here. Very nice. Yes. There we go. All right, the data is in for glucose. Welcome to the wet lab. Do you have everything ready to go? Let's briefly talk safety. Before you begin this lab, we are dealing with glassware and chemicals, so we need to make sure that we have our eye protection on. And because we are going to be using different chemicals, we want to make sure that our hands are protected. Place the filled dialysis tube into one of the cups of 37-degree water in Lugol's solution. Check that the dialysis tubing is completely submerged without kinks. Okay, so I'm going to submerge this down in here. Well, things look a lot different. Take a little time to pause and just enjoy the nature that's all around you. Remember to drink it in.